When I set out to build my smartphone studio setup for 2018, I was looking for these magic words. Number 1, 3.5mm mic input. Number 2, MHL support, which is really what makes this all work. Now in my case, I chose the Galaxy S8 Plus to be the centerpiece of this setup because number 1, I'm a total Samsung fanboy, plus it's a really great smartphone offering me all the functionalities that I want. So here's what I want from a studio setup. Number 1, full manual controls. Fortunately enough, the standard camera app of the S8 Plus already offers me all the functionality that I want. I have full control over the autofocus area, the metering modes, shutter speed, ISO, and the white balance. So I can set up pretty much every shot the way that I want to. Number 1.5, I would like to have a wide angle option. Unfortunately, Samsung have stopped producing their own Samsung lens cover case. So I went the Moment route.
Slides on. Just like a regular smartphone case. And this is the latest iteration of the Moment Super Wide Angle Converter, the V2, offering the viewing angle of an 18mm full frame equivalent on your smartphone. Place the lens on the mount, line up these two lines, and turn right for a full 90 degrees to get a secure and snug fit.
This is obviously the 18mm full frame equivalent you're getting from the Moment, so let's check out what the standard rear camera can do natively. Now this is what you're getting from the S8 Plus's rear camera natively. Of course, much less viewing angle. So I usually favor the wide angle option because the space that I'm shooting in is rather confined. And for what I'm doing, this is perfect. Number 2, I want to be able to see and judge what I'm shooting from in front of the camera. The best way to do this is to hook up a field monitor. So here's how to do it.
We're gonna begin with this Ulanzi Ironman 2 smartphone grip, completely CNC machined and with a cold shoe mount on top. Next up, to expand the capabilities of my S8 Plus via its USB-C port, we're going to use this HP USB-C to multi-port hub, which not only has the perfect cable length for this setup, but also offers us HDMI and a charging port. This is 3M Dual Lock, a super useful, heavy-duty, sturdy, all-plastic kind of Velcro. This is the low-profile black version. All we need right now is 2 pieces of approximately this size. And I'll place the first piece on the top part of the Ulanzi smartphone grip. Second piece goes right on top of the first one. Once again, remove the cover and now place the USB-C hub onto the smartphone grip right there. Apply some firm pressure. Run the cable through the gap between the smartphone grip and the phone and then plug it in right there. My weapon of choice is this on-camera monitor with a tilt arm, a power output and a mic mount. It has a 5.7-inch display. It features a high-quality IPS panel with full HD resolution. Buttons for menu navigation and programmable buttons on the top. Headphone input, HDMI input. This 12-volt DC in connector powers the field monitor and this 8-volt DC out connector can power, for example, your camera. On the back we have the battery plate for the Sony NP-F970 batteries. It also comes with a clip-on Velcro sun hood, but for this setup we're not going to use it. The most awesome thing though, and the reason it's perfect for this setup, is this tilt arm though, that comes with its own little mic mount, which is super useful. And now we're ready to put these two pieces together, and I'm going to show you how to do it perfectly now.
If you slide the monitor in like this and then try to fasten its screw, even if you think you've done a super job and really try to make it a secure fit, there's still going to be some wiggle. Here's how to solve this problem. Take the monitor out of the mount again and then just barely slide it into the mount. And in this position, start tightening the screw. And now completely push it into the mount. This is going to require some force, but you will end up with a super tight, super secure fit.
This is a standard HDMI to standard right-angled HDMI FPV cable. It has exactly the right length and is super flexible, so none of the connectors will be strained. This end connects to the USB-C hub and this end connects to the monitor. There you go. You just hooked up a field monitor to your smartphone. And the super cool thing is, now you got on your smartphone focus peaking, false color, a histogram, and 3 different types of zoom.
Number 3, high-quality external directional audio. In my case, I went with the Rode VideoMic Pro, which delivers excellent results, having both a built-in low-cut filter and a plus 20 decibel pregame.
To hook up the microphone, I will use this audio splitter cable. This is a 3.5mm 4-pole male jack that will fit the audio connector of my S8 Plus. It adapts to a 3.5mm 3-pole female for the microphone and a 3.5mm 3-pole female for the headphones, which in this case we're not going to use. I will wrap the mic input with the white tape and the headphone input will be wrapped wrapped in black tape. This will make with a super snug fit with the cable ties I'm going to use to apply this splitter cable to the setup. Let's take off the covers and let's place them onto the USB hub like this, all the way up top and right in the middle. The mic goes left, the headphones go right. Then the cable simply plugs into the mic jack of my S8 Plus. Now let's apply my Rode VideoMic Pro. For further cable management, I'm using a tiny cable tie like this. Remove the cover and place it right there. Now the mic plugs in right here and the little cable tie makes sure the cable is out of the way. I will apply this quick release plate to the bottom of the smartphone grip. And now what you're looking at is already a pretty decent and capable smartphone studio setup.
You could also use this Rode VideoMic ME right here. And if you're in the market for an even cheaper solution, you could also use this Saramonic Smart Mic. Now you've been listening to the Rode VideoMic Pro all along. Still, I thought it would be a good idea to give you this dedicated audio sample so you can really concentrate on how good the audio quality is you're getting from this mic. It is the most expensive one out of all of the ones I'm going to show you, and it does offer the best quality. Still, as I said, there's alternatives, so let's check out how its little brother does, the Rode VideoMic ME. This one doesn't come with a plus 20 decibel pregain or a built-in low-cut filter for that matter. You have to hook it up directly to the phone, and if you want to check your audio, you have to unplug the microphone, unplug the USB-C cable, and directly hook up your headphones to the phone. But, and here's the good news, if you're okay with being inconvenienced like that, you can cut the price tag by approximately 60%. Should you be in the market for an even cheaper microphone though, here's the audio sample for the Saramonic Smart Mic. Now this is the audio quality you're getting from the most budget option out of the three mics. Like the VideoMic ME before it, it hooks up directly to the smartphone, and like the VideoMic ME before it, if you want to check your audio, you have to unplug the mic, unplug the USB-C cable, and plug your headphones directly into the phone. Once again, if you're okay with being inconvenienced like that, you can again cut the price tag by about 50%. Also, of course, form factor comes into play here. Using the VideoMic ME or the Smart Mic right here makes this whole setup even more compact than it already is. And since we're talking about audio, one very important thing is for you to be able to check the audio that you've just recorded. In case of this setup, it's super simple because you can directly hook up your headphones to the field monitor. So you would play back your clip on your smartphone, check the video on the field monitor, and simultaneously check the audio on your headphones. Number 4. Decent lighting. So the newer ring light that I chose is the perfect fit for this setup. It comes with an even distribution of warm white and cool white LEDs. Also, the way this ring light is constructed makes it the perfect fit for my setup because it allows me to place the smartphone camera almost dead center, which will make for the most even lighting. Here's another thing that was very important to me. I wanted to be able to run this setup completely off the grid or completely off of battery power. So every component had to fit this description. As far as the ring light goes, you can run it off the grid or off of 2 Sony NP-F970 batteries. Same goes for the field monitor, which will only use one of those batteries. And as far as my S8 Plus goes, I have installed a 20,000 mAh power bank directly onto the ring light to power the smartphone whenever necessary. So this setup can be a stationary setup being run completely off the grid, or you can run it completely off battery power, which allows you to place it wherever you want to place it without any hassle.
So this is the ring light. To be able to put it onto my tripod, I need to install a quick release plate right here to the bottom mount. To ensure a perfect fit with my tripod, I will slide it all the way down like this. Now there's one thing I do not like about this ring light, and it's the fact that this part right here is a little wobbly. To get rid of that problem, in my case, a couple of coins did the trick. This will get you a lot better stability. The second part of the quick release plate solution from before goes right there. And now it's time to complete the whole freaking thing.
So, if you liked the video, if you found it helpful, please make sure to leave a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. Any kind of comment or feedback is welcome, and I'll try to answer as quickly as possible. As always, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you again soon.